Hey guys, Bo here. I'm wanting to talk about food rewards versus affection rewards, and I want to talk about the role that physical affection plays in your relationship as well as in dog training. And I want to talk about why I believe that food rewards are more appropriate for trying to gain behavior out of the dog rather than affection. Okay? Now, I got no issue with affection. I do snuggle on the couch with my dogs, and they do snuggle and sleep in my bed, although that's not for everyone. I have zero issues with folks that don't want the dog on the couch, don't want the dog in the bed. I think that for potty training reasons, it's intelligent to not have the dog on the couch and in the bed. I think that there are also a lot of situations that the dog needs to stay off the furniture and out of the bed, specifically situations with resource guarding and aggression. But if you don't have that issue, then it's not really an issue. Now, that being said, food reward, in my opinion, is more appropriate than affection reward when it comes to dog training, okay? And so we specifically withhold affection during our training lessons, and if you're following my program, you should too. It's hard. People consistently want to touch the dog. And there's a few reasons why, okay? So the first one is that when you hand a dog food, you are tapping into the evolutionary reason why dogs hang out with humans. Dogs hang out with us for survival. For thousands and thousands of years, they've done work for us, and they in turn gain survival from us in the way of comfort. We keep them warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And we make sure that their bellies are full of food and water and that they can survive and that they stay healthy due to us. Without us, they eat trash off the streets, unfortunately. And so when you hand out food, you are ensuring that dog's survival for the following day. So in my opinion, food is love. Food is affection. Food is you caring about their sustenance and their survival for tomorrow. And so it is the most potent reward, period. Now, that's the reason why I love food. Food excites the dog, and it gives them a lot more motivation than an affection reward. Now, on the way of using affection, dogs don't always find affection rewarding. The reality is around affection is that it is a human invention. Touching an animal is a human invention. And yes, I do agree that they can like it and that they do like it, but we also don't always know for a fact that they like it. Think about the way that we feel about affection. I don't know about you, but for me, there's three people in my life that I want to touch me. One is my wife, the other is my mother, and the other is my child. My brother, we might do like the pound it or like the little bro hug thing, but other than that, I don't really want folks touching me. And think about this real hard. How many folks in your life do you want to touch you? Okay, so what I mean by that is touch doesn't always have the response that we wish that it did have, okay? Have you ever walked up and wanted to touch someone? Maybe it's your loved one, and they give a startled response because they didn't know you were there. So you walk up and you squeeze them and give them a hug, and then they go, oh, okay. So the natural response to touch when you aren't completely prepared to accept it is a startle response. And we want to definitely never put bad vibes in the mind of the dog. Okay. And so, I don't know that touch is always giving us the response that we're really wanting to gain. And this is another reason why I don't like when other folks touch my dog is because I think about how my child would feel. If I took my child into public and someone came up and said, "Can I pet your child?" and I allowed that, I would think that that would break my trust with my child, and then the child wouldn't want to go into public any longer. So don't let strangers pet your dog. When someone says, "Oh, he's cute, can I pet them?" they are really just trying to steal a little bit of serotonin and oxytocin from your dog, but they're not really considering the dog's opinion. Okay, I had somebody call me and they said, "Hey, my dog gets upset when other people try to pet. How can we fix this?" And I say, "You stop letting people try to pet." "Well, she's hiding behind my legs." And I go, "She obviously doesn't want that. It's rude." And they go, "Well, they always ask." And you say yes, even though the dog's hiding behind you. So make sure that you're cognitive of this. The human race has strict laws that surround touching other humans. Okay, the human race, if you touch another human when they don't want you to touch, you go to jail. That's assault. So we really should be considering the dog in the same way that we consider other humans, and also realizing that affection is not always the best reward to try to build behavior, and sometimes it can actually hurt your responses when trying to use it as a reward. And even with some of the folks that we do want to give affection to, let's say a loved one, your spouse, you can smother them accidentally. You love them to death. You think they're gorgeous. You want to follow them around and squeeze on them and kiss on them all the time. And, you hope that they want that too, but you really don't know if inside their mind they're thinking, "God, can you give me some space here?" Or possibly you come home from work and all you can think about is squeezing and loving on your loved one, and instead they go, "God, I hope he doesn't come over here and do that thing again." And that's the last thing that you want someone to feel whenever you're in a relationship with them. So look for the social cues, look for the physical body language. I think the safest bet is to make sure that your dog always comes to you and that you don't go to them. You don't move over to them to rub on them and touch them, and that they come to you and that they ask for it and give some kind of a sign to you that they actually want that. But inside of dog training, what we want to do is really, really pump up the motivation. And so since we don't always know what the dog is thinking when it comes to affection, we want to use food. And not only food, we want to use the good stuff. We want to use what they want, okay? And so if you check my motivators in dog training, it talks a lot more about the motivators in dog training video. It talks a lot more about the types of food, whether to use kibble, whether to use cheese, whether to use whatever it is. But I definitely think that food is the most appropriate version of reward for us right now. There are a lot of other trainers that use play as well. I have no issue with that. I think that can really be a great motivator. It's just not something that we're going to do inside of this course, okay? So basically, as far as kind of a general rule, as far as what motivators we're going to use and what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. If you're sitting on the couch and the dog runs over and wants to get love from you, love your dog, increase your relationship. Enjoy that. If they want to hop into bed with you and snuggle, I'm cool with that. I think that builds the relationship. Inside of the training room, inside of your lesson, okay, you're watching videos, you're learning, you got your pouch full, your treat pouch full, and you're ready to go. Don't use touch as a reward. Because the reality is that the natural response to touch isn't generally a good one. It's usually a startle or a, "Oh my God, why are you touching me?" And every single time that you've ever wanted touch, you had to go through a mental decision-making process of, yes, okay, I do want this person to touch me. Possibly you paid the person to touch you because it was a massage for sore muscles or something. Or a doctor who had a conversation with you and said, "Okay, here's the procedure that's going to happen," and you actually got to think that through. And so don't all of a sudden touch the dog thinking that it's a reward, because I think a lot of the time you're going to actually hurt your behavioral response rather than help it. Okay, so inside of the training method, use food, not affection.